If you're just tuning in, this is Gretchen. You're on Pawsom Fun and Frugal. And I am starting the big project that I was talking about in my last two videos. So if you want to know what that is, go back and watch the videos. I'm getting it started right now, and I'm going to take you along this journey with me. I'll be taking breaks. I have an important phone call in about an hour, and then I'll be back at it, and I will be taking breaks also because I can only sit in one position for so long. If you watched any of my other videos about that. But watch and see what I'm about to do. It's a little scary because I have taken things apart before, but not like this. Wish me luck. Okay, folks. So I don't know what. Hi, I'm down here. So yes, I'm taking this old. Here's my old MacBook. If you've been watching my videos, you'll know what's gone on with this thing. I'm finally going to take a big risk and see if I can fix it myself. And I'm not a tech, so wish me luck. Let's see. I don't need that. Oh, I'll move that with something else. All right. Got my work area prepped. Got my tools. I'm going to put the screws in there. I'm using my ring light as a light because I don't have a regular light over here. So I'm going to attempt to put in some new memory. Or, not memory, RAM. Well, yeah. So I'm trying to bring this up from 4 gigs to 8 gigs. Supposedly you're not supposed to do that. It's not supposed to take that. But I've found some YouTubers who have done it successfully. And this computer's at the point where if it doesn't work out, I probably need to replace it anyway. And I don't really have that kind of money. Even used is gonna be, like I mentioned, we do have a thrift store here that has used MacBooks sometimes. Usually it's just Android laptops. But sometimes they have used Macs, and I had just seen one the other day. But before I go and buy a new computer, I should probably try to fix this one. So here we have it. Oh, and look at that. I bet no one ever thinks about that. You see all the dust? I'm going to clean that too. We'll give that a good clean before we put it back together. Oh, it's very dirty in here. I'm going to get something that I think would be good. I don't know if this is safe either, but I'm going to use one of these and very carefully try to pat this dirt up. So I don't want to push it into anywhere else. These are wash-up wipes. They're not real wet. That's the battery. Okay, so, and then I'll use this to clean I'm not gonna get all up in there. Maybe a little. The fan is kind of dirty. Just look at all that coming off the fan. That could explain why it gets so hot. I'm gonna give the fan a little clean up. Just give places that look like they'd be okay to clean up, a little pat cleaning. There's the disk drive. I think this is the hard drive. Okay. All right, give things a little clean up there. Now I'll use the rest of it on here. That way when we put it back together, it'll be nice and clean. Oh, look at that. This doesn't have any harsh chemicals in it. It's just like a little soapy, mild soapy hand wash thing. There. So I don't know if you can see that, but this is what we're going to be working on. I can't quite get my tripod, doesn't seem to, let's see, get it to go any higher. Yeah, that's as tall as my tripod can get. Let's see, what can I do for you to be able to see better? I don't quite know. Let's see if I can put something under my laptop. There we go. Put a canvas under there. So this, we're gonna take this out of here. And first, let's make sure that it's the right size. Let's see, it says 4 gig PC3, and this is, so I guess it goes like this. So, okay, I just want to get a look at things. I'm going to go get my other computer because I'm going to have to follow the directions on there on how to do this. Okay, so here's my cheapy computer. It's not good for much except my email and banking and things like that. You know, looking things up. Let's see. But it's good for YouTube, watching YouTube, not uploading on YouTube. There's my YouTube. Pawsom, Fun, and Frugal. So, let's see. I gotta check my stats here for a minute because, you know, ooh, I have 5 whole views since last night when I uploaded. So if you go back and watch the Will I Fix It or Old Human versus Old Computer, it'll tell you what I'm doing. So now we're gonna
possible while depleting the least amount of hours of my week. And I am a Grammarly.
So I don't think I can
So when I first got Grammarly, my mom got it for me my junior year of high
upload.
school
I
to
can't
help me with my college application
put all this
essays.
on
And
my
now
video
it's so cool because it's evolved as a
of me
platform.
learning.
Grammarly
So
AI Compose can help me narrow
I'm not sure
down
how I'm going to
what
do
to
this.
write
I'll
about.
probably just have
I
to
can,
edit
in
things
15
out
minutes, have a decent outline of what I'm
because
gonna be writing over
copyright.
the next week.
Body model, but it still has a whole bunch of screws, so it means that we can take it apart. Now, obviously, a lot of newer MacBooks are all sort of solid.
So I've already done that
you can't
part.
Get into them, or at least
So
it's
we're
very
gonna.
difficult to get into
I
them.
watched
But
this
one's still
before.
pretty easy.
So
What we're going to do is we're just going to go around and we're going to remove all of these screws. They're pretty easy to spot where your finger fits in, and just lift it up and out, and it's going to be fine to remove. Now, what you'll see here is obviously the inside of the computer. So what you'll notice is that there already is a solid state drive installed on here. So my initial assessment of this computer was wrong. He was saying that the computer was running really slowly when launching programs and all that sort of stuff. So I don't know if cloning this solid state drive is going to do much. I can run some diagnostics and make sure that's working okay, but I think our main culprit is going to be the RAM. So as we can see here, it's just the RAM stick right here. And what we're going to do is I'm going to punch in a little bit closer so you guys can see what I'm doing. And we're just going to remove the sticks of RAM that are in there and replace them with these guys. And hopefully, like I said, it will recognize it first off, because
correction, I have 16
also. 8
also.
gigabytes maximum.
This has 8.
Official documentation from Apple.
Someone already upgraded this to 8 before I got it.
So we'll
obviously it took 8.
But I'm just going to punch in a little bit closer. You can see how I remove the RAM and how I install the new stuff. Okay, so as you can see, the RAM modules are just seated here. So what you're going to want to do is you want to use your fingers, and there's these two little arms that kind of clip into the RAM stick and hold it in place. So what we're going to do is we're just going to find these two little edges. They're kind of like, I don't know how to describe them. You'll see it, and it will look exactly the same. Just gently pull those away, and your RAM will pop.
Okay. Ah! It popped up. Yay!
Straight up on an angle like that. Just grab it and just slide it right out. And there you go.
Huh.
So as you can see right here, this is the RAM that came with the machine. It's only 2 gigabytes. So not great.
This
Obviously,
is 4.
There's two modules here, so a total of 4 gigabytes. So obviously running programs like Chrome and RAM-hungry programs are going to be difficult on this machine. And that's what my brother was saying. He was just saying, obviously it boots up, it's fine, but it's just sort of unusable in terms of how slow and bogged down it gets.
That's the problem I'm
fingers
having.
Crossed, the RAM upgrade will.
I think if I just credit this
so we remove
guy.
that first RAM stick, and the second one is directly underneath it. Now it's a bit tricky to get to those little arms because you can kind of see here. They're underneath the other ones, so you just kind of have to put your fingers in there and just really
on
push.
YouTube.
And don't be afraid to, you don't want to be manhandling it, but getting this set on this machine. And that's what my brother was saying. He was just saying, obviously it boots
I had
up,
to go
it's
back
fine,
because I
but it's
kind of
just,
missed what he
sort of
said to
unusable
do.
in terms
I think
of,
it's the
how
same
slow
thing.
and bogged down it gets. So fingers crossed, the RAM upgrade will make a difference. Anyway, so we remove that first RAM stick, and the second one is directly underneath it. Now it's a bit tricky to get to those little arms because you can kind of see here they're underneath the other ones, so you just kind of have to put your fingers in there and just really push. And don't be afraid to, you don't want to be manhandling it, but getting this second stick out is a little bit more difficult because, again, the way that this is configured, it just makes it a bit tougher. So I apologize that you guys can't really see what I'm doing because my hand's in the way, but you kind of have to just sort of, there we go, wiggle it out of there. So once you release the little arm levers there that essentially secure these RAM sticks in there, the second one's a little bit more difficult because you kind of gotta coax it out, I guess. Anyway, so that's it. So that's your 4 gigabytes of RAM, and we're gonna replace it with the 16. Okay, so as I mentioned before, I bought Silicon Power, a 16 gigabyte kit.
Okay, I can't get them out of the package. I gotta do that first. Okay. Ooh, I don't want them to touch anything. I'm gonna put them right back there for right now until I get them out of the package. Ha! Got it out of the package. All right. So.
I've already removed one obviously here. Now, what's really important is that you make sure that whatever model computer you have, whatever model MacBook you have, pay attention to the DDR series. So this is DDR3 RAM, and the reason why this is important because you can see how there's this sort of like asymmetrical pin configuration here where it's not directly in the center, it's kind of off to the side. Now DDR4, this little notch here will be in a different spot. So if you buy DDR4 or DDR2 RAM, it's not going to fit in your machine. Like here's the old RAM stick that we just took out. You'll notice where the slot is. If we just kind of like overlap these two, you'll notice that they'll line up perfectly, and that's because they're both DDR3.
Yeah.
So you just want to make sure that you have DDR3 RAM if you are upgrading this specific MacBook. If not, again, just look at the documentation, see what people are saying online to figure out what sort of RAM you need for your particular machine. Anyway, you can see here, because that notch is there, it's got to go in this way because the notch is on this side. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to, and I apologize if this takes me a little bit because I'm trying to do this through the viewfinder of my camera. I'm just going to kind of angle it in so you can see I'm not pushing it down just yet. You want to make sure that the pins kind of slot into the receiver there, and then once it's secure, then just push down and those little arms are going to come in and secure your RAM module in place. So we've got the first one in, so that's the first 8 GB stick. I'm going to grab the other stick here and flick it around so that the notch,
We're having a little trouble getting it in. He was right. It's a little tricky to get this in here. Maybe I have to help the arms a little. Ah! Yay! We got one. We got one in.
we're going to slot that in as well. Push it in. It should be standing up on an angle.
Okay, let's get the second new one. Here's my second one. I'm gonna get that in there.
And then simply push it down. Those little arms are going to come in, and then that's it. You're done. So you have the new RAM installed. Now what we're going to do next is fire up this computer and see if this computer recognizes the full 60.
I think I did
of
it.
RAM that
See if we can put it back
installed.
together.
But what I'm going to do first, obviously,
Here's
before
the
that
old
is
RAM.
put the back cover, or back panel, back on. So we're going to put the back panel on, screw it all down, and then we'll turn it on. Okay, so
Okay, let's put this thing back together. All right, let's make sure we got it nice and cleaned, dusted. All right. Let's put her back together. All right, let's get these big screws go in the back. Now we'll put these screws back in. Got all the screws back in. So let's see if she fires up. The other thing wrong with this thing is the battery. So that's another project, is to maybe put another battery in. But I only use this one at home because it's heavy, so I haven't been feeling like the battery's that important. See, I have a special screwdriver now for these things because I replaced screens on some old other laptops before.